Good morning guys, welcome to another solo run on the Kanto Retro Brand playlist. Today we're wiggling in front of you, we've got Gastly, and this is going to be a good run because remember how good the Gengar run was on my channel? We got just over 3 hours time for the actual run. Considering that was the last stage evolution of this line, I'm not expecting Gastly to do as well, but I'm expecting it to get extremely close. So let's have a quick chat about Gastly. I mean, we are going to go with Wacko for the rival today. Base stat wise, we've got 310. Now, that doesn't sound too good. When you look at where they're distributed, 100 in special and 18 speed, that is phenomenal for Gen 1. And yeah, Gastly is kind of the definition of a glass cannon really with this generation. Terrible HP, terrible attack and defense, but that's fine. In this early game, we're not going to get hit by anything physical because we are a ghost type Pokemon. One of the only 3 ghost type Pokemon in this generation as well, and we also start off with some fantastic moves. We start off with Lick, Confuse Ray and Nightshade. One of them will just carry us throughout the entire early game, and that is going to be Nightshade. We don't take 1 bit of damage from the Bulbasaur, just with Nightshade, and we move on to Viridian Forest. Now, we are going to do this at minimum battles. So, Gastly, it can get hit by the Weedle because they have Poison Sting. But Nightshade does the amount of damage based off your level, so we're level 6 right now, meaning we're dealing out 6 points of damage every single hit with Nightshade, which is perfect. And it also leads on to Brock, where again, we're doing this minimum battles because we can't actually get hit by Brock, unless he actually uses Bide, so we have to be a little bit careful about that. But the Geodude cannot hit us whatsoever, it goes down to a few Nightshades. Onix annoyingly goes for Bide straight away, but because we've confused it, hits itself Confusion, it cancels out the Bide. If it had not hit itself in Confusion, we'd have actually lost that fight. But either way, we have beaten Brock and we can move on to the next gym leader, which of course is Misty. But before Misty, of course, we have these trainers on the east of Pewter City. Now these aren't really too much of a problem, but when you're trying to go for minimum battles, one thing you really need to keep an eye on is your PP management. And we do have to deal out a lot of Nightshades to be able to get past these trainers. Meaning, as soon as this fight ends, we've only got Lick to work with, which doesn't hit many... Well, it doesn't really hit normal type Pokemon in the early game. Yeah, we have to go back and we have to go back to the Pokemon Center a few times. Leading through to Mount Moon, we have leveled up a little bit just because of those mandatory trainers we've had to fight. We do level up really, really quickly, but it's not too much of a problem. There's not really too much in this early game that can deal much damage to us. The worst thing that's going to come up next is going to be Misty because pretty much she can't use Tackle to hit us. So that means she's going to purely use her water type moves. So how are we going to get past her? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Well, we can deal 19 points of damage out when we're going against the Staryu. It takes 3 Nightshades to take it out. And when it comes to the Starmie, pretty much we got to hope that the Confusion works really. Confuse Ray is a great move to have considering it's got 100% accuracy. Confuses them and it also gives you another chance to actually deal out some damage. Nightshade, it's a great move for this early game, and pretty much we're just kind of waiting for the RNG to work in our favour, and we can do this at level 19. If that Starmie had used Bubble Beam, trust me, we would have lost at that point. Now there's an interesting mechanic in Gen 1. Ghost is technically super effective against Psychics, but not in Gen 1. Gen 1's coding was a bit weird, so even though there's not many Ghost moves out there that can actually deal damage, they're not really super effective against the Psychic type. And we're very weak to the Psychic type ourselves because we have that Ghost Poison type. Meaning, when it actually comes to the likes of the Kadabra and the Alakazams later in the run, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. Now, I haven't actually touched on this yet, but our TM moveset, we're actually going to pick up our TM Pokemon here, our HM Pokemon. We pick up Sandshrew, we also pick up the Spearow here. Pretty much for Dig, Cut, Fly. They're the best 2 Pokemon, you can get them both on the west of Cerulean. Our TM moveset, even though it looks very bare, like, it does look really bare. We get some fantastic moves in there. We can pick up Thunder, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Mimic, Dream Eater. Although we actually do learn Hypnosis and Dream Eater via level up, which is amazing. We can also learn Mega Drain, but considering there's not too many water type Pokemon that we're gonna really face, I don't actually feel like we're going to need Mega Drain on this run. We're never going to use Double Team, so never worry about that. But let's have another chat about the rival on the SSN. So, Nightshade is perfect move still to use here. It's doing 25 bits of damage every single hit. And we've got Confuse Ray to help us get past the harder Pokemon. Raticate cannot hit us whatsoever. So we're going to confuse it. Well, Nightshade. And you know what? Considering it's a Ghost type move, I was skeptical as to whether Nightshade would actually hit the normal type Pokemon. But because it's a move that actually it does damage based on your level, technically in this generation, it looks at it as more of like a typeless move. Kind of like Bide, even though Bide can hit Ghost types. Yeah, Gen 1's weird, especially with like the coding errors that they put in. Either way, it creates some really interesting results. Now, we have an interesting fight against Surge here. We do level up and get Hypnosis, which is perfect. We do like the sleep conflicted moves. Yeah, it's only got 60% accuracy, but it's best we got to work with. We don't get Sleep Powder or Spore. We actually lose against Surge here. For the first time in maybe 15 videos, we lose to Surge. I know, I haven't lost to Surge in quite a long time. So, the reason why we were losing, we weren't dealing enough damage out really with Nightshade. This is pretty much the start of when Nightshade is starting to lose its potency. Lick is not very good. Hypnosis is a great move, but really we want to beat Surge now because we want to get Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a fantastic move for us to be using. 95 base attack, 100% accuracy, and we've got quite a few Pokemon coming up where we're definitely going to need that Electric type move. We're going to need to keep Nightshade for a canny little bit longer, especially with Rock Tunnel coming up and the Exploding Hiker. But after a little back and forth, we actually do beat Surge and we can teach Thunderbolt to ourselves. We are going to get rid of Lick at this stage because it's lost its use. It's only 20 base power, it's a Ghost type move. And moving through to Celadon, we're going to go and pick up a load of vitamins. Now, I don't usually talk about the vitamins when I'm doing these runs most of the time. Basically, I've already had a plan in my head of what sort of build I'm going to be going for. Because, I mean, it's an obvious one with Gastly. It's ridiculously special attacker, really speedy Pokemon, so we kind of need to split that between speed and our special with what sort of vitamins we actually get. I completely forgot when I was getting to this point that we actually can't learn Ice Beam. Now, if we learn Ice Beam, we genuinely would be absolutely S tier Pokemon. Genuinely would be, but unfortunately we can't learn Ice Beam. Now, I do go down to this floor here and I pick up Counter as the TM because I've realised that I'm just on the cusp of getting a few more bits, like of getting one more vitamin. So we can get rid of like some of the TMs, we can get rid of Ice Beam. And it also means that we can get rid of, we just want to be able, so we can actually get some better vitamins, really. It's worth our time to get them now. The lower level that you do it, the more levels you can get up where they can actually take effect. So we've got a few Carbos, a few Calciums, and we'll also come back later on when we've got a bit more money, and from there we can increase our stats even a bit more. So yeah, let's move on. Pretty much where we're going to go next, we've got a few options. We're not even going to go against Erica, we're not going to go against Giovanni yet, because there is one more move that on our learn set that we can actually go and get right at this point before we beat any of them. We need to go and visit Mr. Psychic, like we did in the Starmie video previously. This is a fantastic move to have on our roster. We are going to learn Dream Eater later on, and Dream Eater will be perfect for trying to create longer battles where we actually need to heal a bit of HP. Plus, it is technically 10 points better in power than Psychic actually is, meaning it's worth us having a more powerful Psychic type move on our roster. So, Giovanni is going to go down to no, pretty much, he is so easy. We didn't even lose one bit of HP, it means we can now move on to the rest of the gym leaders. We can dig out of here, heal up, and we'll go straight against Erica. We've got Psychic on our move roster, which means we've got a super effective move for most of these Pokemon. The worst thing that can happen in these fights is we can get put to sleep. And there's a really weird mechanic that I started seeing here. Even though Wrap technically doesn't hit us because it's a normal type move and we're Ghost, Wrap actually constricted us, so we couldn't attack for a few turns, even though it was dealing no damage out. I've never seen this happen before, and I don't know if anybody else has. But yeah, it's a really weird mechanic that I've just seen there, and it only happened on this run. I've never seen this happen before, because this is one of the first times. This is only the second time on this channel we've used a Ghost type Pokemon in Gen 1. Moving back over to Lavender, we can give our chance against Wacko. So Thunderbolt, we've got a very good moveset here. Thunderbolt, Psychic, it pretty much will take care of most problems that we have. Thunderbolt is a fantastic move, even takes out the Kadabra here in 1, and we can also learn Dream Eater now at level 35. And that's pretty much all we can learn via level up. Psychic takes out the Ivysaur, and it's quite an easy win. But this opens up the game now. Once we've completed Lavender Tower, we can either go over to like Silph Co, which we are going to do. If we can beat the rival here, we're not going to have to backtrack on ourselves anywhere near as much as later on. So, let's see how we do against the rival in Silph Co. Pidgeot is out first, and we are matching the level of Pidgeot. Wing Attack does decent damage, and we're onto the Gyarados, which is 4 times weak to Thunderbolt. We're now level 38 going into the Growlithe, and I'm thinking here's a good chance to get some HP back. So we can use Dream Eater, pretty much recover all of our HP, and this is where I start seeing the problems with Gastly. Yeah, Alakazam completely walled us, it outsped us, so I'm not too sure what we're going to do to get past this Alakazam here. At the worst, we might have to go elsewhere and then come back in a bit, but either way, we need some good luck here. Growlithe, as soon as we can get it to sleep, is the perfect postmortem to get some Dream Eater back on. And yeah, as long as we can get that Alakazam to sleep, we've got a chance to defeat it. We get through to 29 HP on the Venusaur, it goes for a potion, and we take him out. So yeah, we didn't have to come back later on, we could actually beat the rival at level 39 here. We can pick up our Lapras and move on to Giovanni, who of course is not going to be a problem whatsoever. He is a really, really bad trainer when we've got a Ghost Poison type that can use good Psychic moves. We're not going to struggle here whatsoever. Nidorino is out first, and Psychic is a one-shot. Kangaskhar's next, and again it's a one-shot with a crit. Last up is Rhyhorn, which actually tanks it. Considering how bad its special is, I'm surprised it managed to tank a Psychic there. That's really interesting. The Nidoqueen, I was expecting to tank it, and of course we've ran out of PP for Psychic, so we need to put it to sleep and use Dream Eater to finish off the battle. Thunderbolt will not hit Nidoqueen because it is a poison ground type, so we had to go through Dream Eater in that instance. This brings us on to the next gym leader, and that's going to be Sabrina. While we're in Saffron, it's quicker for us to go against Sabrina first before having to track back, and we're seeing the exact same problems as we did in the battle against Alakazam previously. We're not dealing enough damage out, and we're taking a lot of damage as well. So yeah, I had to make the decision to move on, and we'll come back to Sabrina after getting up a few more levels. So to do this, we're going to go over to Fuchsia City. Before we go to Fuchsia City, we've got to beat the Snorlax, and we can move on to Koga. So Koga is a poison type trainer who is very weak to Psychic type attacks, meaning this is one of the easiest fights in the entire run for us. The Muck does tank a Psychic, but the Coffins go down to 1. If the Weezing uses self-destruct, that would have been perfect because it can't hit us, and it's a very, very easy fight. That brings us on to where we can go next, and I opted to go for Blaine. Blaine shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. I mean, if we get hit by a Fire Blast, yeah, that will be a problem. But the Growlithe as well, because it's got Psychic type moves, will only use the Psychic type moves on us, because it deems it super effective. The Rapidash is annoying, he likes to spam Fire Spin, and yeah, it takes us a long time before we can actually get it to sleep. Like, that's about 5 or 6 hypnosis without one hit. Finally, when we do get it to sleep, we can use Dream Eater to get our HP back, and we're on full HP going into the Arcanine. If we get this to sleep, we've pretty much won. One Dream Eater does massive damage, it goes for a retroactive Super Potion, and a second Dream Eater takes him out. So we beat Blaine very, very comfortably. We can dig out of here, and we need to go back to Sabrina now. It's the only gym leader left before Giovanni, we can't avoid it anymore. But before that, I am going to go to Celadon City, and as I was saying earlier, we're going to go and get a few more vitamins. We are trying to prioritise our special and our speed, and at this point in the game we've got a lot more money to work with, we've got a lot of things we can sell. So we'll sell Mega Drain, we'll sell Toxic, can't remember what TM40 is. It's not one that we can learn, but we'll get rid of TM14 as well, which is Blizzard, and we'll get rid of Fire Blast. So we've got just shy of 50 grand to work with. We're going to get 3 Carbos because we're lower in speed than we are special, and the rest we'll spend on... Oh, we need to sell something else here. Let's sell this protein, and we'll buy a few calciums just to be sure as well, so we can deal maximum damage out. And this should give us a really good Gastly to work with. We're not even utilising the Badge Boost glitch in this run as well. I've pretty much got the moveset that I want to move with for the rest of this fight. So, let's see how we do against Sabrina. We're going to go start off with Hypnosis, because if we can get through this first Kadabra who has Psychic type moves, yeah, we want to get past him. Mr. Mime is next, he goes Sleep, and it's 2 Thunderbolts to take him down. You can see the massive difference those vitamins have made. Psychic takes out Venom off in one, and this brings us to Alakazam. So Hypnosis misses and Psybeam does massive damage and we get confused. Meaning for the first time in a long time we got beaten by Psywave. Yeah, not happy about that one. Psywave is an awful move. I've not used it on any of my runs so far. I really need to find one that I can use it on. I might use it on the Kadabra run when that eventually comes up, just to say that we have used Psywave for once. The Venomoth is not a problem whatsoever. It's actually the perfect Pokemon to use Dream Eater on because it's technically a bug poison, and that gives us enough HP to tank at least one Confusion or Psybeam if it hits us. But we don't need that. Hypnosis works in our favour and we take the win. So we've beaten all 7 gym leaders. That just leaves Giovanni, and I'm imagining this is going to be a very easy fight. The only one that really is worrying me is going to be that Dugtrio, because it is speedy and it does have Dig. And considering we're not even taking out the Rhyhorn in one Psychic, yeah, okay, we've messed up. We should have went for Hypnosis. That's a one shot. Okay, let's try this again. So we definitely know we need to put them to sleep. If we don't get them to sleep, then we might as well reset. Dugtrio is out and it goes to sleep, meaning Dream Eater doesn't even take it out in one. Nidoqueen is next, and pretty much from here, we've won the battle. Psychic will do big damage, they can't really do much to me. And of course, Rhydon likes to spam Fissure, but of course it's not going to hit us this time. I'm going to try and get it to sleep and use Dream Eater instead of the last Psychic I have. And there we go, that's the fight. So level 47, and we're through to the rival before the Elite Four. This should be an easier fight. I mean, the Alakazam is still a worry, but when we get later into this run, he likes to spam Reflect and Recover a lot more than his attacking moves. So let's try and get the Pidgeot to sleep. Because it's got Agility on its moveset, it will only use that against us in this fight. And to be fair, we don't really need to put it to sleep. The Rhyhorn should go down to 1 Psychic. It doesn't even go down to Dream Eater, so oh well. Gyarados is next, and Thunderbolt will do big damage, that's perfect. Growlithe is next. Psychic will near enough take it out. And now we're on to Alakazam, the one that I'm worried about. And his big Psychic takes us out. We don't even outspeed. So I had to level up 2 levels. I used 2 of my rare candies here just to get past and be speedy enough to take out this Alakazam. Growlithe is next. Psychic does big damage, and we're on to the Alakazam. If we can get this to sleep, we've won. We don't outspeed still, but it goes forward and Reflect. Perfect scenario, that gives us a chance to use Thunderbolt. Last up is Venusaur, and Psychic will be a 2-shot. Easy. When the RNG works in your favour, it's pretty good. So let's bring us on to the Elite Four. First up is Lorelei, and with us having Thunderbolt our moveset, I think we're going to be fine in this fight. I think the worst thing that could happen is going to be Blizzard on Lapras. Or that the Jinx uses a Psychic move. Either way, we shouldn't be too bad in this fight. Right, here's the Jinx. This is the one I was worried about. We put it asleep so it doesn't become a problem. 3 Thunderbolts take it out, and that just leaves us with the Lapras. Now, I do want to put this to sleep because it is really trolly with its Confuse Ray. When it's asleep, I can then get the HP back with Dream Eater. And for some reason, she doesn't seem to want to go for anything but Confuse Ray. And the reason for that, Ghost, I think, is also super effective against Ghost in this generation. So yeah, that's the only reason why she was going for Confuse Ray. It made no sense, but we win. We go through to Bruno, first time victory. And Bruno, of course, will not be a problem. We can just Psychic through every single one of his Pokemon, and we get one of the easiest wins since Koga. Literally every single Pokemon. Even the Machamp this time. Even Starmie didn't beat it in one shot. That brings us on to Agatha. Now I am worried for Agatha. It's Ghost against Ghost, and she does have really powerful moves as well. If we get put to sleep by Hypnosis, it might as well be the end of the fight. Golbat manages to tank a Psychic, and I'm really surprised at that. Haunter is out next, and it doesn't tank a Psychic, so pretty good. Arbok is next, it goes down to a Psychic. And last up with Gengar's is going to take 2 hits. It gets a big Nightshade off, but we were quicker, and we take the win. So we're getting through to Lance right now, and we have not lost a single fight. With a first stage evolution Pokemon, this is really, really good. Lance is going to be... I don't know if he's going to be that much of a problem, really. The Dragonairs pretty much just will go for agility, because it's a Psychic type move and they recognise that's super effective. So the biggest threat is going to be that Aerodactyl. Just because it's got... Which move has it got? It's... Well, Supersonic's going to be annoying, but it also has... Actually no, it's got pretty much normal type moves all the way through. Okay, so it's just Supersonic we have to worry about. Psychic will do decent damage on the Dragonite, but we're looking for those special drops. And it becomes quite an easy fight against the Dragonite. It's got Reflect and it's got Barrier, so to be fair, that's all it'll spam. We beat Lance without taking a single point in damage. And that brings us on to the final rival. Now, the biggest problem is going to be that Alakazam. Pidgeot is going to be kind of annoying, but 2 Thunderbolts should be more than enough to take it out. Unless we mess with Hypnosis and it uses Sky Attack. Let's try that again. We're going into this fight at level 60. 2 Thunderbolts take out the Pidgeot, and we actually outspeed the Alakazam here because we're just 1 level above it. We've got it to sleep. We're going to use Psychic and get its special down so it can do more damage. We don't get the special drop on pretty much every attempt. I might as well just use Thunderbolt there. Rhydon is next, and I could have used Dream Eater on it here just to get some HP back. But we've got the Gyarados next, Thunderbolt takes it down, and next up is the Arcanine. Hypnosis will do big damage on that, it doesn't go back to sleep. And we're losing HP to Ember here. We've managed to finally get it to sleep, Dream Eater it some HP back. And 1 more Ember ticks. We'll have to just get on with it. So, Venusaur is next, we're going to go for Psychic, and he goes for a Razor Leaf. Doesn't do enough to take us out, and we take the win with a Thunderbolt. You know what? This was a fun run. This was a quick run. I want to see what time we finished on. Did we beat the Gengar time? What tier are we going to put this in? Let's see. We finished at level 61 with 3 hours and 48 minutes. You know what? That's better than Poliwag. That's definitely an A tier Pokemon, but it's definitely not an S tier Pokemon. What can we do? It's a first stage evolution, and its third stage evolution did a lot better. What can we expect? I think that was a good run though. I think that was very fun. I've definitely put a lot more knowledge into this video than most of my other ones. Hope that was appreciated. Let's see what we get next time on the wheel. So, first up on the wheel, I'm hoping something a little bit different. What we haven't had for a while. Have we had a fire Pokemon anytime recently? Yeah, we had Magmar recently. Have we had a poison type Pokemon recently? Well, Gastly, I guess. Wigglytuff's first. I don't know. Second up is Growlithe. There's the fire type that I was asking for. What's third up? Third up is, well, it's already popped up, it's Charmeleon. So, yeah, I think we're going to go with Growlithe. Out of all them options, I've not used the Arcanine line since my very first 10 videos. So yeah, let's go with Growlithe for the next video. If you got to this point, please like, share, subscribe. I love it, you guys, you legends. And we'll see you next week for a Growlithe run. Take care.